Quick, are you making this massive grammar mistake without even realizing it? Welcome to the ultimate tense trap, lived versus have lived. Let's dive right into this explainer because this one catches millions of students off guard every single day.
So answer this for me right now. Which is correct? I lived here for 5 years or I have lived here for 5 years? Think about it for just a second. You got your answer?
Well, here's the crazy part. They're actually both perfectly correct. But, and this is a huge but, they mean entirely different things. If you've ever been totally confused about why just adding the word have completely changes a sentence, you are definitely not alone. It's incredibly tricky, but we're going to crack the code today.
Here's our roadmap for this explainer. 1. The ultimate tense trap. 2. Time versus aspect. 3. The 12 tense matrix. 4. The secret signal words. And 5. Fixing common grammar mistakes. All right, section 1, the ultimate tense trap. Let's fully resolve that question we started with.
Okay, let's look at how this actually plays out in real life. Take the first sentence. I lived in London for 3 years. That's the simple past. It means the action is totally finished, dead and gone. You do not live in London anymore. But look at the second one. I have lived in Spain since 2003. That's the present perfect. Just throwing in that word have tells us the action started in the past, but it's still happening right now. You still live in Spain today. So the absolute core of this whole thing is this. The present perfect simple tense links the past with the present. It literally builds a bridge between the two. That's exactly why have lived is the right choice if you haven't actually moved. Honestly, if you use the simple past for a place you still live in, native speakers will think you just packed up your bags and moved away. Moving on to section 2, time versus aspect. Let's figure out why these tenses act so differently. You know, when we think about verbs, we usually just think of tense, which is just time, right? Past, present, or future. But actually, that's only half the story. The other half is what we call aspect. Aspect gives you the really vital info about the status of the action. Like, is it totally finished? Is it in progress? How does it relate to other stuff going on? You can actually think of English tenses like a super simple math equation. English tenses equals time, so past, present, future, plus aspect, which is simple, continuous, perfect, or perfect continuous. You literally just pick a time, pick an aspect, smash them together, and boom, you get your tense. It's not a bunch of random rules. It's a highly logical system. Section 3, the 12 tense matrix. Let's zoom out and look at the big picture. This grid beautifully maps out the entire system. Across the top, you've got your time, past, present, and future. Down the side, your aspects, simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. Wherever they intersect, that's your tense, all 12 of them. I promise you, this matrix is the only thing you need to map out literally every possible English verb. It totally stops being this chaotic jumble of rules and just becomes a predictable map. Let's deconstruct the present perfect formula right from that matrix, like a step-by-step equation, so you don't have to brute force memorize it. Step 1, identify your subject. Let's use I. Step 2, add your auxiliary verb, have or has. For I, we use have. Step 3, add the past participle, the V3 form of the verb. Let's use eat, which becomes eaten. Put it all together. I have eaten. It's just plug and play. Section 4, the secret signal words. Because how do you actually know which formula to use when? Well, check this out. These specific signal words are basically cheat codes that give away exactly which tense you need. If you're using words that point to a finished time, like yesterday, 2 minutes ago, or last week, boom, you are locked into the simple past. But if you're using words that connect to the present or an unfinished time, like already, yet, just, since, or for, that is your green light to use the present perfect. They're like little grammatical traffic lights. And since they're super common, let's quickly clarify the difference between for and since. We use for when talking about periods of time, like 5 years, 3 days, 18 months. We use since when pointing to a specific starting point, like 2003, last year, or January. Both build that bridge to the present, they just measure the time a bit differently. Section 5, fixing common grammar mistakes. Let's put this into practice. So a massive mistake people make is using the present perfect with a set, finished time, like saying, I've been to the library last week. That's totally wrong. Why? Because last week is a finished signal word. It forces you back into the simple past. You have to say, I went to the library last week. If the time period is over, present perfect is completely off the table.
no exceptions. Now, here's a fun fact that might explain some of the confusion you hear in movies or on TV. In American English, it's actually super common to just default to the simple past. Even with a signal word like yet, an American will casually say, "Did you eat breakfast yet?" But British English, they are much stricter about it. They stick to the present perfect and say, "Have you eaten breakfast yet?" Both make sense, but it definitely explains why the rules seem to bend in casual conversation. Okay, let's wrap this up with a quick pop quiz to test your new cheat codes. If your signal word is yesterday, which one is correct? I have got up at 7 a.m. yesterday, or I got up at 7 a.m. yesterday. Well, applying the rule that yesterday is a finished time marker, you immediately know it's the simple past. I got up at 7 a.m. yesterday. See? Once you know the signals, the whole system is just a puzzle you can easily solve. So what other tense traps have been driving you crazy?